I'm going to play this video. This is Greg Kelly on Newsmax talking to Alina Habba, who's come on to talk about all the different cases and everything.
And as we say goodnight, if I could see that footage of Alina Habba speaking to the media in that courthouse, and when you come out there and you speak like you do, and quite frankly, I mean, the whole package, it really is something. Even the fake news, they called it astoundingly confident. There's something kind of special happening in those moments. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if it feels different, but it's pretty damned impressive, and it seems to me like you're moving the needle in who knows what kind of ways.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Greg.
Go ahead.
I really do, and I appreciate you saying that.
I don't know if you saw it. He did this thing where he was like, oh, God. And then, quite honestly, the whole package, Jesus Christ. That was in public. That was in front of a camera. That was being broadcast live, Greg Kelly. Where's my bat? Because someone needs to bonk him on the head and send him to horny jail, because Jesus Christ. So there was the horniness. That was a very big part of that. But then there was like the attempt to cast it as something more honorable than sheer horniness. That, like, you know, when you come out, it's really special, and even the fake news says supremely confident. Oh, okay, acknowledging that she seems supremely confident does not mean that she's making good points or that logic is on her side. And, you know, I think you're really moving the needle. Who knows in what way? Well, could you at least speculate as to what way you're talking about? Do you mean she's convincing the jurors? The judge? What, like regular voters? Independents? Who thinks that? No, look, she is good at this job that she's been hired to do, which is not the job he implies it is. The job that Alina Habba has, which is why she is hanging around a trial that she is not Trump's lawyer for. Very importantly, you might think that she is. She's not, okay? She's just hanging around to do that. She marches out and she very confidently says stupid things, knowing that they don't need to be smart things, because the target audience is not independents or Democrats. It's people who already like Donald Trump, who just need to be assured that this is probably going to be okay. So you send a confident person out to confidently say stupid bullshit, and that wins them over, or continues the winning over that they've experienced for a number of years. That's what it is. And look, she's good at doing that. You know, she's hardly the only one or whatever. But the idea that that's like, that it's Jesus giving the Sermon on the Mount or something. Like, I understand, Greg Kelly, that you are in the grip of a vicious case of the hornies, but you're going to need to just calm down a little bit. And look, I don't know if it bothers her that so many of these grotesque, creepy old Republicans so clearly only care about the fact that they think that she's attractive or whatever. Maybe it doesn't. She's acknowledged before that it's helping in her career, and obviously, you know, being physically attractive is helpful in basically every career, so I don't begrudge her that or appreciating that. But, like, the fact that it's happening live on TV is just so gross. Okay, let's move past the weird creepiness, and let's move to what I wanted to talk about. So, there's a video going around. I'm going to play it for you.
And what do you think tonight about everything?
Exactly how I felt that day, I think, until it's over and behind us. But I don't have hopes really that high at this moment that the New York courts will do the right thing, that the jury will do the right thing. We're in a blue state, as you know, Greg. And I think everything's by design. We're in a case that was 8 years old, over the statute of limitations, was denied by Cy Vance, then brought only after President Trump decided he was going to run for office. And like you said, look at how many people they've got. And I can't talk about it, but because of the unconstitutional gag order. But I think that we should also take a look at who's on that team and where those people came from.
I'm not actually sure that the gag order applies to her. I mean, it doesn't even seemingly apply to Donald Trump, but I don't think it applies to her. Why would you, like, arguably pretend to be under a gag order unless you don't think that you can? Like, if she could give a rundown of the obvious conflicts of interest of these key players, then she would do that, whether she thought that she was under a gag order or not. She's not doing it, which tells me that she doesn't think that she could do that. And she doesn't want to have to. Did you ever see Mighty Ducks 2? Okay, Goldberg, notably, is the goalie. Now, Goldberg gets into a little bit of the beginnings of a tiff with one of the players, I think, on the Iceland team. Now, Goldberg needs to look tough, but Goldberg doesn't want to actually fight the guy on Iceland because he'd get beaten. So he asks his teammates to hold him back. That way he can struggle against a fake impediment to him doing something. That's what this is right here. She's not bound by a gag order. If you have a good point to make, just make that point, but you're not making that point. Anyway, let's move now to the biggest point here, where she's like, I don't have a lot of faith. I don't have a lot of hope. So if you're to believe her, she believes that Donald Trump is going to go to prison for this. That's what it seems. She's not going into super detail or anything, but that seems to be what she's saying. You would think she would want to, I don't know, give some hope to Greg Kelly. I mean, he's being so complimentary towards her in such an explicitly horny fashion. But look, the point of all of that was to say that it's going to come down to the fact that the entire thing is biased. She has nothing to say about the actual evidence. She has nothing to say about the actual charges. None of them do, because they know he did it. They know that he's guilty, and so they avoid talking about it entirely. And I will say, when I talk about her abandoning him, it's not that she's actually doing that, but that there could be a rift forming. She's his lawyer and his legal representative. But we're moving into a period where it doesn't really make sense for her to have that role anymore. She's not defending him in any of the criminal trials at this point. We've kind of moved past the civil trials in which she was a massive failure. So what is her role? I mean, look, she can do the media appearances for him or whatever, but she becomes less and less legally relevant as every day passes, and she becomes like Kellyanne Conway, I guess? And so when I say that there's a rift, I mean there's a rift in terms of the role that she has played for him. She could very well end up being like the press secretary or something, I guess. But her as a lawyer, the lawyer that's supposed to come in with energy, and really like move the dial in some way that Greg Kelly can't define, I don't really see what that's supposed to be going forward. Even assuming that he gets into the presidency, and if not, then we are racing towards them. I mean, look, maybe she can handle some of his appeals from prison or whatever. But the role that she has played, I think, is rapidly coming to an end. Perhaps it's why she's barnstorming the media, getting in as many appearances as she can in the 15 minutes that she has.